delicious, invigorating.
Can't touch this.
Folks at home, welcome back to Ike Live. Brian the Carpenter, thank you for the MC Hammer music playing during our break. And I think there's a tie-in to our next guest. We're going to ask him about that in a second. Brian, do we have Ron? Is he joining us through a phone or through Skype, or what do we got?
We got Skype and, I'm calling
We got
right
Skype.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so joining us via Skype in just a second here, Ron Champion, the recent winner of the Hobie Open. We're going to get to talk to him, Pete, about how he won, the techniques, the preparation. I want to hear a lot about how he picked the area he picked and all that stuff. And,
I have some questions about how the tournament works.
Yeah.
Like, because we take off and have to be back and check in.
Yeah.
And some of the, some of those details.
And they're great questions, because a lot of the guys that are watching tonight are not kayak guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're big bass boat guys that potentially want to be a kayak fisherman. They're bank fishermen that want to learn about how to enter a kayak tournament. So there's going to be a lot of great questions about the tournament. I think, Brian, we ready?
Yes,
okay,
sir.
I think we've got him now joining us live via Skype, and I'm going to keep saying this all night because he has the best last name in the world. The recent champion from the Hobie Open, Ron Champion, everybody.
The champ.
How you doing tonight, Ron? Ron, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Are you at home tonight? Where are you at?
I am. I'm sitting in my office. We just got back from vacation, so just a few hours ago.
Awesome. Well, first of all, congratulations on your recent win. I mean, it's awesome. I can tell you, I haven't yet fished a kayak tournament, but to win a tournament is a tough thing. It's a tough thing. How many of these have you fished before this victory?
Oh, now as far as the Hobie Bass Open, I've fished all three that they've had since 2014. But as far as actual tournaments, I probably fished close to 100 tournaments kayak fishing.
Gotcha. That's amazing. Now,
hey Ron, it's Dave. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
I guess as someone that knows nothing about kayaks, what I'm most shocked about is how bigger guys can be in them and function well. I mean, I'm looking at your hands there. You look like you can palm a watermelon. How big are you?
I'm 6'4", 305.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So now, let me ask you this, Ron. When you're at the boat ramp before a competition on ones where you can see guys, do you look at their calves and worry about how fast they are?
I'm like Tom, maybe a little bit different Tom. I like to carry, I know he said he'll get it down to 3 or 4 rods. I mean, I've had 16 rods on my boat before.
Wow.
So, and I carry a lot of gear. I know the Hobie says, 600 pounds weight. I push that.
Yeah, but at your size, you could have 2 of them behind each ear, like the way people do cigarettes, like as big as you are, man.
It's but that boat, that's why I went with that boat, because I am a big guy. I wanted a stable platform to fish out of. I wanted a boat that I could put a lot of gear in, because I can put my kids in my boat with me. I've had both of my kids in my PA-14 with
Which
me.
model's that, Ron? What is that called?
The PA-14, 14 foot long. I'll take my black pack out of the back and put another seat in there, set my son on it. He's 10. I'll put my daughter, she's fixing to be 6, put her in the front with me. I've had both of my kids out fishing with me before. It's that stable.
Wow, that's cool.
It's an amazing boat, and but that's why I chose that boat, because when you're tournament fishing, and we're by no means at the level like with Mike is with the Elite Series and all that, but I think it's going that direction, or I hope it is.
Yeah.
And but if you're going to fish big water like Kentucky Lake or Santee Cooper, you really need a really good kayak, a stable platform. Because I stand a lot. I feel very comfortable standing in my boat.
Wow.
Last year at the Tournament of the Champions down on Lake Fork, I fish Lake Fork. I make it down there every year. We were paddling out in 30-mile-an-hour winds. I had waves coming over the nose of my boat and hitting me in the shins. And it was pitch dark paddling through the trees on Lake Fork. And I felt very comfortable in that boat. It's an amazing boat.
Wow.
Interesting. I got a question for Ron and Tom. Do you miss the buddy aspect? Like you get out on your bass boat, you fish buddy tournaments, you fish with a friend.
You know what? As far as the tournament side, no, I don't miss that part. I don't miss having to have somebody in the boat with me. I like that one-on-one competition. You know what I mean? I'm a competitive guy. But as far as going fishing with your buddies, man, the way social media is now, all you got to do is make one post. Hey, I'm going to hit this spot tomorrow, 6 a.m. Who wants to join? You might have 10 kayaks show up just to fish. So if anything, you get more guys that are out there fishing. Well, a lot of the kayak guys, they kind of like on Kentucky Lake, I notice they'll fish in groups, 3-4 boats, might fish the same ledge. And, so no, you still get the buddy side of it. I like to get away from guys, especially come tournament time, because it's I'm very open. I'm very easy approach at tournaments. I don't hide anything. I might not tell you everything, but I don't hide a lot. Coming to Kentucky Lake for this event, it wasn't about the money. I wanted that spot for Team USA Hobie to fish in the Worlds, and I went up there this year to really test myself. I gave myself plenty of time for practice. And when I said I like to get away from guys, after day one of that tournament, I made a choice. I didn't fish that same spot the second day, and there was a lot of fish in there. I changed tactics, and I drove 2 hours south to that spot down toward New Johnsonville that I found on Friday where the shad spawn was. So it was a gamble, but I got down there and I didn't see one kayak down there. I had it by myself. There was nobody around. And it was the best move I made. I caught fish all day long down there. I had several humps, several little ledges, but I got that early morning topwater bite, which was what I was keying on. I thought I would need a really big fish, a kicker fish, for the tournament. I had a solid 3 fish on the first day. I thought I would need a really big kicker fish for the second day, and I got down there, and man, as soon as it got daylight, the shad were flickering all over the docks. They were all up on the banks. There was bass in there feeding on them, gar, drum. It was nuts. And of course, I picked up some topwater baits, and it was on. I had 3 fish within probably 20 minutes, and about an hour, maybe an hour and a half into the tournament, I uploaded my fish to iAngler, and I went straight to first place again with 107 inches and 3 fish. And then I called later on in the day, which actually is what won me the tournament, almost on my last cast. I said it was my last cast because I gave up 2 hours of fishing time. We can launch, we can leave wherever we're at, we can drive to our area, but as soon as, we all have to be back at the same spot, at 3 o'clock. So I drove 2 hours south to fish that area, but I still had to be back at Kentucky Dam Village at 3. So I gave up 2 hours of fishing time, but I upgraded late in the day. It worked out. I won by a half inch after it was all said and done.
But I'll tell you, one of the reasons I told him he would do well this year, Matthew Scotch was second, Jay Wallen was third. These boys this year have been killing it.
All right, now here's a big question I wanted to ask you. And, amazing winning an event, but the qualification, you touched on it, that was big for you. You wanted to get to Worlds. What are you going to do between now and that tournament to prepare for that event? Do you have stuff that you're going to do? Are you going to practice? Are you going to mentally prepare? What are you going to do, Ron?
I'm fortunate. Now that where I live, just outside of Savannah, Georgia. So I've got saltwater right here, and we'll be going after reds, trout, and flounder for this tournament. And I just moved here back in November of last year. I'm not a salt guy. I've caught flounder and I've caught trout, but I've never caught a redfish. I told my wife, I said, as soon as I get back from vacation, which we got back today, I was like, now everything changes. I've still got a lot of tournaments, bass tournaments that I'll be doing, but a lot of my practice will be salt now. I want to be familiar with the fish that I'm catching, how to handle them. You down in Louisiana, we'll be catching bull redfish, 40 plus inches, and you have to get that fish in the boat on a measuring board and take a photograph of it. So yeah, now I start preparing for that because that's what I went there for. This tournament meant everything. It's been a 3-year quest. I wanted it bad in 2014 when Tom won it. I got 7th that year. Last year I got 15th, and I was fortunate enough this year for the win. And yeah, I'm an emotional guy. I'm a crybaby. I can watch a chick flick, man. I'll sit there and cry with my wife. That's just me. And it was that spot, to earn that spot, that meant everything to me. I mean, I was a wreck, man, at the last day coming in for that, and it meant everything, man. I was sitting at the table with Tom, you know, when they announced it, and the way that Hobie did it with the suspense. You know, you have the eyeing where you know where you're at. They take it down about an hour and a half. This year's about an hour and a half before the tournament was over with. So I had that long drive back. And so the whole time I'm driving back, I'm thinking, you know, somebody's going to pass me. I'm giving up a lot of fishing time. And so when we did get into the actual ceremony, giving the prizes and announcing the winners, my buddy Jay Wallen was actually in second behind me the last time that I saw on the app. And then I talked to him, and he said that he got passed by Matthew. He was pretty sure. And so then it was gut wrenching. But once they started announcing the weights for day one, they announced Jay's length or the lengths, and so they announced Jay's, and he got third. And then when they announced the second place, and he had 54-point-something inches on day one, and as soon as they said that, and I knew I'd won it. I was sitting at the table with Tom, man. I lost it, dude. I was my head between my left leg. The guy was on back, pat me. You know, it was. I
had the tissues out for him.
Why, man? I was crying, man. It meant everything. It did. It was a really. I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 43 years old, and I'll never forget that moment for the rest of my life.
That's awesome. Well, it's hard to win a tournament anywhere. And it's a tough thing to do. And hey, congratulations, dude! You're the champion. Your last name's champion. You're going to the Worlds. You're in a good place.
And you're going to be there this year, right?
I will be there. I'll see you there. I'll get to meet you in person. And
I actually met you last year, and I don't know that if you'll remember it, but you was the Hobie Open last year on Kentucky Lake. You had your boat parked on the ramp at Paris Landing. You had your kids in your boat with you. Y'all they were working on your live wells or motor or something.
Yeah. And
I had a yellow Hobie at that time, and I actually tuck out, and we actually spoke to each other right there last year. I was there practicing for this event. So
I remember him.
We can't hear it.
I remember him. I totally remember you.
He probably winked at her.
No, because I thought it was amazing. I thought it was absolutely amazing because this guy's there with like a kayak, and I remember we were getting the screens cleaned.
Yeah.
And the kids were there.
To the
There's
live
bass boats everywhere. You're just like chilling in a kayak.
Did he have the kayak strapped to his back?
Not at that moment. No,
okay.
But I look forward to hanging out with you down there, and by having this show and bringing more awareness to the kayak industry with what you're doing, that means a lot to not just me, not just Hobie. That means a lot to fishermen and kayak fishermen everywhere, and we appreciate you having a show like this. I really appreciate you giving me the chance to talk about kayak fishing. Hopefully we can share the water someday, man. I'd love to go out with you and show you what I do, and have a little friendly battle.
I appreciate it. Well, we appreciate you coming on, and thanks for the kind words, and I will definitely see you at the Worlds, and
awesome.
And congratulations again, Ron. Great win.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Ron champion, everybody. There you have it, man. I love it.
Hot, hearty, delicious,